Welcome back to Women Building the Blockchain. I am Megan, as you know, head of media at Security Token Market. And today I have an amazing guest. I will let her introduce herself, but I welcome Nicole.
Thank you, Megan. I'm so excited to be here. Love your podcast, love your mission, and I'm so excited to be here today. My name is Nicole Luna. I am the creator and founder of Baes NFT, and I'm so excited to share about my project, share about my journey, share about my struggles, what motivates me, and all the amazing things that we're going to chat about today. But I'll start with a little intro, a little background about myself. So I live in Colorado, about an hour outside of Denver. And I used to own a yoga studio here. So for the last 7 years, I've had a yoga studio, and it wasn't just like a regular yoga studio. It was a live music yoga studio. We had live music for all of our classes. We also had really fun events and we had really fun parties. We didn't just do yoga. We had fire spinning classes and dance classes and hula hoop classes and just kind of a really fun creative space. We had aerial classes, just a really fun space that was here in Denver. And when COVID happened, thankfully, my lease was simultaneously ending around the same time. So I decided I'm not going to resign my lease. I moved everything online. And I actually ended up starting a podcast during COVID. So I was doing my yoga classes online. I started a podcast and, was just kind of going through the motions that I had been going through for quite some time. And last summer, I decided, I'm just going to take a break. I just need some time off. I just need to not think about work or business. I just want to enjoy myself, have fun. And I really wanted to kind of pivot and find a new career, find a new path, find a new journey for myself. And in the fall, so I did take the whole summer off. I just enjoyed myself. I went hiking, I went biking, we went on a couple of vacations. Wow. And I was just really doing some soul searching. And in the fall, when crypto kind of started booming again, I got back into crypto, and getting back into crypto led me to NFTs. And once I found out about NFTs, I knew immediately that I wanted to have my own collection. I wanted to start something, and I wanted to be someone in this space. I needed to get involved. So NFTs was like my pivot after taking some time off, and I just jumped in full force. And here I am today with my collection minting, and everything is like, this industry moves so fast. So I'm just learning so much, so quick, but I couldn't be happier with where I ended up and where I am today.
Yay, that's an amazing story. It's funny. As some people know, I'm from Colorado, but I had no idea that you were either. So when we connected, I was like, what the heck? This is a small world. Funny how that happens.
It is funny because we kind of switched, because I'm from Florida, You're from Colorado, and now we both live in the opposite place, which is super funny, but I love it.
What are the odds? You kind of covered your personal experience, but let's talk about the project itself, what we all came for. So go ahead, share whatever you want.
Amazing. So when I started this project, I was looking for a void in the space. I was looking for a void I could fill, something that was different, something that was unique, but I also really wanted it to be welcoming, easy, and fun so that more women would want to get in. So I created a project called Blockchainabes, and we are the first NFT to tokenize travel. And we are going to be hosting group trips and offering discounted travel for our members. So this is the best first NFT for women, is what we're hearing from all of our community and all of our members. But we're going to be going on 3 trips per year once the collection has sold. And 10 members are going to be joining us for free on these trips, no matter where they're from in the world, which is really, really fun. And these trips are going to be either super fun adventure kind of travel, or they're going to be a wellness retreat. So we kind of bounce back between fun adventure trips and then healing, relaxing, rejuvenating trips. So the first 3 trips I've planned, but the next 3 are going to be planned by the community as we continue to grow. And we also have weekly yoga classes for our members. We have weekly crypto workshops where we're teaching you new things every single week. And that's mainly what we're going to be doing for our members is cultivating that in real life experience. And so far, our members are so much fun. We have so much fun in our Discord. And I can't wait to actually meet these girls in real life and start traveling. And on the other side of our project, we're going to be giving back, of course, because a huge part of the NFT space is actually changing the world, helping people, making a difference. And I also wanted to fill a void in how I could give back. A lot of other projects, are, they're doing some education and they're giving this or that. But I realized that in order for more women to get into this space, we actually needed to provide them with the technology. So we are going to be donating a huge portion of our project to women and artists who need computers, who need software, who need iPads, who need whatever technology they need to get into the space. So we are going on fun trips. We're having lots of fun. We're connecting with like-minded women. And then we're also giving back. We're giving free technology to women and artists who cannot afford it, who are ready to get into this space. And then we're giving them the weekly education with our crypto workshops to actually get in and be somebody in this space.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. 3 things stood out to me. Number 1, it leverages your background in like wellness. Love that. I feel like not many people in the space even kind of acknowledge that, which is such a huge thing. And then 2, you said you're the first NFT project to, can you say that again?
We're the first NFT to tokenize travel, and we're giving access to our group trips and discounted travel. So if you don't win the free trip, which 10 members are coming for free, if you don't win the free trip, you do have to pay for your airfare, but we're working with different travel groups depending on the location we're going to. So your hotel is going to be very, very discounted. And then our project is paying for a lot of the activities, the adventures, and the meals while we're traveling. So, even if you were going to go on one trip this year, why not have half your hotel half off? Why not have half of your meals paid for? Why not have your adventures paid for? And why not meet other women who are in the space?
No, that was the last thing is I was, the fact that you're getting this community, but you're going on these trips together, like it meshes, in real life and kind of Web3. Also, I have 2 questions. What are they minted on? Or which blockchain?
We're on OpenSea through Polygon blockchain. So It's been fun, teaching the women. Not only do they have to set up their MetaMask with Ethereum, they've got to add the Polygon network. And so that's been a whole nother fun step for everybody. But I really wanted to,
I love that you chose Polygon and not Ethereum. Save the ladies some money.
It's created a little bit of an extra barrier because, it's a little bit more education. It's an extra step, but I really wanted to save the girls money because so many of them, it's their very first NFT. So they're not even 100% sold on the value and the whole space. So I really wanted to make it affordable. And we actually gave away the first 55 NFTs to women, only women in our Discord. And the first 1,000 NFTs are at inclusive price at 0.03 ETH. So even if you were going to go on one trip this year with some of your girlfriends, you might as well spend the 0.03 ETH and come with us for a much lower rate.
And where's your first trip?
So our first trip is in Vegas. Yeah, I'm really excited. Our first trip is in Vegas. We've got a fun brunch party that goes into a pool party. We've got a spa day and we've got an adventure day out in the Red Rocks Canyon that they have there. Our second trip is in Sedona. This is going to be a wellness retreat. We've got sound healing, we've got yoga, we've got a hiking day, just really relaxing. And Sedona is so magical if you have never been there. And then we have our third trip, which is actually in Baja, Mexico. We've got a couple nights in Cabo, and then we're going out to some private islands on a boat. And we've got a private beach party for all of us. And I'm really excited for that trip because it's one of my favorite places to go. And I can't wait to show the girls just how beautiful it is, how much amazing sea life there is, and just have some fun on the water.
Oh, you might be seeing me there.
I hope I'm seeing you there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. This is amazing. I can't wait to clip this out on Twitter and be like, check this out. Get a load of this. This is amazing. No, I'm so glad that this is like an awesome vision. So we will obviously link all the info to the NFT collection and yeah, everything. And Jess and I were just looking at your NFTs yesterday. I know we've been emailing back and forth and we were in love. So
yeah, they're cute, right? I wanted them to be, welcoming for a woman to feel beautiful and just put it as her profile picture, and everyone that won in the giveaway, just their reactions. Everybody's so happy. So everything's really good right now. Really good for the collection.
So tell me a little bit about, so obviously that's how you got here. And the project itself, we'll plug all the socials so people can see that. But how so far have you felt like being a female in this industry? Regardless as if, I feel like everybody's very new to the space. So maybe somebody can relate. I feel like I've professionally been in the space for not too long, but compared to like, I guess a lot of other people, but how have you felt being in the space?
So, in the beginning, just like starting anything new, it's a little bit scary. There's a lot to learn, and it can definitely be overwhelming because there's so many ways to make money in crypto. There's so many NFT projects, and there's just so many pieces of information being thrown at you from all these different places. So it can definitely be overwhelming, but I almost felt empowered. I almost felt like I needed to be here and I had to be here because as I'm looking at, all of the NFT projects and all of the information that I'm learning, I'm just noticing, this is completely male dominated. The projects, so many of the projects, 90% of the projects that are coming out are completely made for males. And I just realized, I'm like, I need to be part of this movement. I need to bring more women in. I'm definitely, an entrepreneur and a visionary. And I'm always, if there's something new or something emerging, I need to be a part of it. So I almost felt empowered, like, okay, I can find a space here. And especially just being a woman empowered me, and being especially a woman of color empowered me even more. I went to the ETH Denver conference a couple months ago, and just waiting in the line and being in the space and being in these events, it was bizarre. There was I saw maybe 2 other women of color there in the entire place. And there was so little women, all together. It was just a sea of men. And I just thought, how can we have this emerging industry without the touch of the women? So I felt like it was something almost that I had to do.
Not to say that men aren't creative, but I feel like women bring a lot of creativity, and this space is so fueled off of creativity. And especially NFTs, there currently we see so many that are leveraging digital art. So I feel like it's a no-brainer to have women in this space. But how was ETH Denver? I have heard so many different things. I kind of want your take on it. I had a little bit of FOMO, because I'm from Denver, and I was like, why my hometown, doing something in the crypto industry? And then the governor is like, we're going to accept payments for tax in crypto and all these things. And I'm like, okay, I kind of feel like you guys are just drinking the Kool-Aid in Denver. So I'm kind of curious what you thought of it. No, seriously, Denver is not, sorry, no offense to Denver, I feel like I have all the right to say this. I'll give kind of a hot take. They are not, people are moving there, yes, flocking there, but I don't feel like they've ever positioned themselves as innovators in any space. Denver's just been a great, reliable city, offers fantastic things, don't get me wrong, but it's not like Miami, New York, Austin, Texas right now is positioning itself like that. How was ETH Denver?
Okay, so ETH Denver was so amazing. It definitely inspired me so much. There were so many cool exhibits and augmented reality, booths and just things and people to see and meet. And then there were so many, big people in the space. I mean, the creator of Ethereum was there, and just all these, they had all these women speakers. So I was really motivated by that. And I got to meet one, and just, it was really eye-opening. I felt like a little kid, going to the circus for the first time. And it was just really cool. And to say how, the only downfall of it all was the process to get in. It was insane. Like the line was like 3 hours long every day, and you had to take a COVID test at the entrance. So that took like,
Really?
I waited forever just to get in. So I missed, some of the presentations that I wanted to see, but it was really cool. It was positioned like a festival. They had, 3 different, venues and rooms you could go in. There was after parties. So it was just really cool to know that there were all these other people that, I don't know if 100% of them lived in Denver, but so many people in Denver were interested in the space, because I live a little bit up in the mountains. So I'm kind of more of a loner out here. So when I got to connect with so many people in real life, it was a really, really awesome experience for sure. But
yeah, I saw on Twitter, I feel like a lot of the people actually had traveled in. It might've been like a good, split of residents and traveling in. But
I feel like there's a group of people that kind of go from conference to conference to conference, and they're just like on conference tour, and they're, getting all of the crypto and NFT life that they can. But it's really good. I would recommend anyone who's listening to, if there is an event happening near you, you can Google or search for NFT events or crypto events in your area. And I would definitely recommend, especially if it's free, to just go check it out, at least for a day. You never know who you're going to meet, what you're going to learn. And it was a really good experience.
And that's
you
what
should
we were
definitely
just
come
talking
next
about
year.
In the office. We feel like we just live in a conference. Like living in Miami is just constant networking. So when there is a conference in town, it's like, oh my gosh, like, wait, why do we even have to live any different? Because we're already going to like events every Wednesday, there's this event, happy hours Thursday, like all these things. And I feel like that's the way to meet people, even though we live in like such a decentralized community. Like we're like, oh, we need to live in Web3, which we all are, via Twitter, Discord, all of that. But I agree, like meeting people IRL, game changer.
Important. So, yeah. And I was going to ask you, how was NFT Miami?
Oh, honestly, felt like every other week here.
It felt like every other week.
It's just like different people hitting you up. If I'm going to be totally honest, like it was amazing. I only made it to like a minute of the actual conference. And that's the funny thing is I end up, like you said, like the happy hours, the after parties, the gatherings. Like I feel like I like the more intimate events. And same with what's going on now. We have Bitcoin week, Miami Bitcoin week 2022. I'm going to head to the conference tomorrow morning for a little bit, but we've had people in and out of the office. NFT week was fantastic. I feel like people are just tagging along now, tying it all into Bitcoin week. But we were joking, this is like the 5th NFT week we've had in 2022.
Oh my goodness. And it's only April.
Only April. But hey, that is great for the industry. Like amazing. I love, seeing that there's so much demand for these meetups and like conferences, everything. Hey, I will be exhausted every day of my life, but
I love how they're making the conferences so fun too. You could go to a conference or a seminar in any other industry, and you're not going to have an after party and live music and just all the colors and lights and fun and people. I mean, I was blown away because when I went to ETH Denver, I was, I wanted to look professional. So I was wearing, a nice, button down or a blazer of some sort. And I like kind of dressed up, and I brought my laptop and my little briefcase, and I wanted to, look professional, but everybody was dressed so fun. Like people are wearing onesies and people wearing fun costumes and wigs. It would look like a music festival, So I was definitely way overdressed.
Yeah. No, it's funny you say that. It literally is like a music festival. That's exactly right. And I'm sure it was a little colder in Denver, so it's only multiplied in Miami where it's like 80 degrees. So it's really a grab bag of what you're going to get. But that's like my favorite thing about the industry is like, I was in traditional finance before this, and it was like, oh my gosh, I got to go to J. Crew and get another pair of suit pants. Like, that's just not me. I'm in leggings and a t-shirt right now in the office. And like, we've had people come in and out all day. And, that's what I love is like, it's like, you're getting everybody's most authentic self. Like if you're about dressing up in business casual, more power to you. We love it. If you're about wearing jeans and a t-shirt, like also love that. So that's partially why I got in this industry. I was like, I want to be with those people who like, don't care. They're just working hard and having a good time. But what was I going to pivot into? That's what inspires me in the space. I guess you kind of discuss what inspires you, kind of being like, representing an underrepresented group.
Yes. Another thing that really
How,
inspires me that I did want to touch is
yeah,
just like when my community, so our community on Discord and Twitter, we have a lot of newbies, because a lot of women are just entering the space, and I really wanted to make a project that was very welcoming and accepting, so women didn't feel any kind of tension or stress as they're coming in. But one of the things that's really got me is, so a lot of the women we're teaching how to buy their first NFT for the very first time, and just seeing like the joy on their face from being able to, set up their wallet and buying their first crypto. And so the women in my community just continue to inspire me every day, just from their little wins. It's just really inspiring to watch people. They feel like there's such a barrier to get in, but when they see that, you already have your cell phone, you already have the computer, it's just a couple apps, it's just a couple steps, but then how proud they are of themselves, for being able to buy their first NFT or just even setting up their wallet. So that keeps me going definitely every single day.
Oh my gosh, I totally agree. That's kind of why I liked your project, is because when Jess brought it to me, Jessica Burns, my co-host and coworker, on Spilling the NFT, she was like, this Nicole's so, kind of like targeting that audience of, we're not all professionals, but we are not professionals, but like, we're not all seasoned tech whiz, and I was like, that's what we want to stand for too. So, we were getting a bunch of hate on Instagram today. And I will say, when you get hate, that's a good sign. We always look at it, bring it on. No, but someone was like, oh my God, she's giving the definitions of bullish and bearish, like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is why people are intimidated to enter the space, because like, we're very basically explaining like market trends. And there's like, this guy's commenting, a few different guys like, oh, why don't you, like, this is so basic. Like, why don't you just show them the Wikipedia page? And I'm like, come on, like, people out there don't know these things. And, we learn things every single day that are very basic. Like, I want to help. Like, I love seeing the little wins, like you said, and being a space where like people aren't judged. Like, oh, you didn't know this, you didn't know that. Like, come on,
right.
Like, let's all help each other.
I agree with you. There's always going to be haters, but think of it as like, there's all publicity is good publicity. You know what I mean? At least
Always,
they're commenting, they're engaging. I was watching that video earlier today, and I thought that you did a great job explaining it. And so if anybody wants to hate, let them hate, but you're hate. Helping the people that need it. So
like you said, all PR is good PR, or like any sort of engagement. I'm like, bring it on. So let's see. Next, what do I want to talk about next? I love that. The ETH Denver plug. That was amazing. We'll have to see if more, sort of conferences come your way in Denver. I kind of feel like it's like a middle meeting ground between like California, New York, and Florida. So I'm like, well, and globally, obviously. We'll have to see what.
And a lot of creative people live here. It is on the artsier, creative side. So
it's, when I left, everybody's like, I'm moving to Denver. And I was like, is it cool now? I mean, it's always been cool, but I was like, is it going to be the next, like, Miami, New York? People are even arguing like, oh, Miami's not New York, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see. Are there any resources you can recommend to women? Or, I mean, obviously anybody. I only say women because the show is called Women Building the Blockchain, but to anybody wanting to learn, or like, how did you get in this, teach yourself? I feel like a lot of this is self-taught. So that's why I always ask this question.
A lot of it is self-taught, like YouTube. I call it YouTube University. It's like a college at this point, and I have learned so much on YouTube. It is crazy. But yeah, so I have a couple girls that have really inspired me. And then I have one guy that I like to share on YouTube who just is very educational, very knowledgeable in the space. And I kind of get a lot of my tips and information, especially if you want to create a collection. But my first, it would be Lauren Turton. Lauren, and then the last name is spelled Turton. She's actually in Miami right now speaking at NFT Miami. It may have just ended.
Oh, really?
She spoke over the last couple of days.
I wonder if she's still here for Bitcoin. We'll drop her. Obviously, we'll have her information below.
Yeah,
But
she is just so transparent with her journey. I started following her back in September or October, and she had gotten into NFTs just a couple months before, but she really helped me see that women can get into the space and it's not as hard and we don't have to put all these walls up that we can get in.
Yeah.
So she was just so transparent. I mean, she documents every single part of her journey, from what she's learning to what she's creating, to how she's creating it, who she's collabing with, marketing, her Twitter spaces. I've just learned so much from her Twitter spaces. My mind gets blown every single week. She does a training on Wednesdays. And so I would highly recommend following her on Twitter, getting in her Discord, and she also has a podcast, like you girls do.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to follow her. That's amazing.
Yes, you're gonna love her. She's also blonde. She's so cute, and she, we share like a passion for electronic music, and she's so nice as well. Like she has, not hundreds of thousands, but 20,000 or so followers. And I sent her a message a couple months back, and I never thought she would respond, because people are busy when they have 20,000 followers, right? But no, she actually takes the time to like respond and like give you a passionate, thorough response. And, if you have a question, like she can help you for sure. So she would be my number one resource and inspiration in this entire space. And then there's another girl on TikTok, and her name on TikTok is Neatly Reckless. And a lot of people are like underestimating NFT TikTok. Like there is a community on TikTok. I know the main communities on
There's
Twitter.
a community for everything on TikTok.
Yes. I actually love TikTok very much, but
me too.
So her name is Neatly Reckless, and she has, it's just spelled how it's spelled, neatly, and then the word reckless, all one word. And you can find her on Twitter and on TikTok. I found her on TikTok, and again, she isn't as far in her journey as Lauren, but the way she's documenting she like Lauren inspired me to like get into the space, but Neatly Reckless, her name is Dom. She inspired me to actually start my own collection because she's a self-funded solo artist, solo creator. She doesn't have a team. And she's showed me that without all of those things that you think you need, you can still do it. You can absolutely still do it. So I would highly recommend following her as well. If you're getting into the space, she posts very educational videos, very informative and transparency about the process of starting a collection and how to work with Discord and all the little things. And then the last person is a guy. So I have to give a little credit to the guys today. His name on YouTube, and you may have heard of him, is Brett, Brett Milanowski. So Brett Malinowski, and he's on YouTube. He's really helped me as far as the creating my own collection, like from the ground up. He has very educational videos. He helps you learn how to build a strong community. And he even has, an NFT academy. And if you join his Discord or you buy one of his NFTs, you get access to his courses on how to do everything that you could possibly need with NFTs. So I just like learning from other people, people that are like me and people that I can trust. So those would be my three main. Who are yours?
That's awesome. And I like how you gave a kind of an example of like people who might want to get into making their own collection. So amazing. We'll have to coordinate getting all the social handles so I make sure that they're right. And so I can share them. And then, oh my gosh, mine, I'm all over the map. This is kind of what I say to this question. And I got this from our CEO, Kyle Sonlin, or I didn't get this from him, but like, I just am always on. Like, that's my favorite way of learning. Like, is being always on, because everything in this industry moves very fast and there's always new content coming out. Like, so my favorite, I just am going to throw out like a general resource is Twitter. Mm-hmm. I always encourage people to make Twitters. And I feel like a lot of people who are getting into this space don't have a Twitter and they don't see the value of it. So that's kind of like, I feel like Twitter's a nice pipeline to like, then maybe getting into the Discord communities and that kind of thing. Because when I first started getting on Discord, I was very overwhelmed. And it's funny, we joke, we're like, there's gotta be a better way. Like Discord's fantastic, don't get me wrong, but like from a UX perspective and like, it's kind of intimidating, especially for beginners, like myself included. I still don't like Discord. I mean, I like it and I use it, but like, there's gotta be a better way. Like,
yeah, I'm learning new things on Discord every day for sure.
Right. So anyways, I always just say like, Twitter is my go-to. Always reading, always following, like I follow hashtags because it shows relevant things, certain accounts. And like you said, the best part is like people will respond, like DM them. Like you would be shocked how many people want to help others in this space. And that's kind of what keeps me going every day, is like that people will respond no matter the following, like they just want to see other people grow. And so that's kind of like my spiel on where I get my,
I think that's really good advice, especially what you said about following the hashtags. Like I would definitely recommend, if you're a woman listening to this right now, the hashtag women in NFTs is a huge hashtag to follow. You'll find a lot of good projects, a lot of good inspiring women, a lot of good leaders in the space. So yeah, hashtags are definitely a great one. And then are you into Twitter spaces? Because I like to recommend definitely for people to get into a Twitter space and just kind of hear what the community is talking about and connecting about. And
yeah, I listened to a bunch. I've been on a few, like with Zest Capital, a few myself. We do them sporadically through Security Token Market. But oh my gosh, I love Twitter spaces. It's just like free podcasts. Like it's the best. Right from the mouth, all this information. And I mean, you might have some good ones if you want to plug anybody, but sometimes I'll just hop on and I'll have my AirPods in and I'll just like see what at 12 o'clock on a Monday, 1 p.m. on a Wednesday, no matter what time it is, there's like always one going, and it's cool people talking about cool things. And I like how it's just like unfiltered. So yes, big Twitter spaces.
The space is so global that, it's 24 hours a day. Like in our Discord personally, I have somebody that works the European hours. And then I have two girls that are working in the US because all the time zones, everyone's chatting and engaging at different times of the day. So it's cool how global it is. But yeah, I would definitely recommend just going on Twitter, clicking. I didn't even realize that was the little emblem, like with all the dots in the very center.
Yeah.
That's the Twitter space button. So just click on it and just scroll through and find a space, just sit in and start listening. It's definitely great.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And I honestly make a lot of connections that way. Like I'll have a bunch of followers come in. Obviously I follow them back. And now it's like, boom.
Same.
Even growing your own community even more. So my you're going to see, I have my whole ring light set up. Amazing.
Okay, my turn. I'm going to do a video. Say hi.
Hello. Something exciting on the way. Nicole, the best guest.
Thank you. And I can't wait till I'm living in Florida and hang out with you girls a couple times. I can't wait.